Sathya Sai Speaks, Volume 11, Chapter 23, The Two Poles, Part 1 of 2. This was to be a gathering exclusively for office bearers of the units of the Sathya Sai Seva organization in Maharashtra. But what have we to confer only among ourselves? The organization is designed to promote the welfare and progress of all. And so, I am glad devotees and volunteers are also participating. You must be clear about the objectives of the organization of which your unit is a limb. For without having the goal clear in the mind, how can the journey end in success? Whatever you do, reading, writing, meditating, doing bhajan, group singing, going on pilgrimage, these can be valid and worthwhile only if you have the objective clearly in view. You must know why certain things have to be done and why certain things have to be avoided. Imagine you are on a journey to, say, Prashanti Nilayam. En route, you have to change trains at Guntakal. From the broad gauge line to the meter gauge line, isn't it? You wish to take a little rest and you go to a traveller's bungalow. The man in charge asks you, from where do you come? Where do you wish to go? Now, if you have forgotten the answers to these universal queries, how awkward will it be? You can neither go forward nor return. You are now an individual, contained in this body or that. You are moving every moment towards your home, the place from where you came, the Atma, the Paramatma, the super soul of which your own soul is but a spark. The Upanishads ask the question, whence, whither, who, why? And when you pine for the answers, they teach you the solution and advise you to practice the disciplines for experiencing the answers and their truth yourselves. God acknowledges his devotee as his friend. Know whence and whither both. The letter must have the address of the person from whom it has come, so that it could be returned to the sender. In case of need, it must, of course, have the address of the person to whom it is to be delivered, for else, why write it at all? Now, since the letter that is your life is not aware of whence and whither, it rots in the post box, only perhaps it might reach the dead letter office. Why waste lives like that? Learn from the Guru and move forward from the box to bliss. Everyone has the basic urge to imbibe the immortality from which he has fallen off. Some, like flies, flit from fair to foul, are swooped for their pains. They are avoided as disease carriers. They do not give ease to those that contact them. They only tease and torment. Others are like bees, seeking only honey from fragrant flowers and fructifying them in return for the sweetness they derive. Every being has a latent, basic urge to know the Supreme Self, the Paramatma. Some persons boast that they are devotees of God, that God has blessed them in such and such ways, that God's grace has helped them thus and thus. Do not give ear to these ego-centered pretenders. You become a devotee when God has acknowledged your devotion. The ego is the greatest obstacle in the way of such acceptance. God has said, Mad Bhakta Same Priya. He who is my devotee is my friend. Why has God mentioned both devotee and friend? The devotee reveres God, he fears God, and so cannot be quite close to him. A friend is the most close to him, but if one is only a friend and not a devotee, there is the danger that he might take liberties with him, and that might not be pardoned. Freedom must not turn into license. Everyone has to guard land, faith, and wife. Bhishma was a mighty warrior. He was famous for the grandeur and glory that he won through both detachment and divine grace. In the vicinity of his kingdom, Bhishma once had to encounter a person called Gadadhara. This man had undergone severe austerities and received from God as a reward for pleasing him an invincible discus, chakra, wheel. So people hailed him as Chakradhara, the wielder of the divine wheel weapon. The fellow had become so insolent and wicked that he wrote a most insulting missive to Bhima. On the death of Shantanu, Bhima's father, Chakradhara wrote, Either send the widowed queen to my place or meet me in battle. Who could tolerate such insults and keep quiet? It is said that everyone has to guard dharani, land, dharma, faith, and dharmapatni, wife. Bhishma said to himself, What is my life worth if I cannot avenge this insult, if I cannot save my mother's honor? But the Brahmanas of the court advised him that he should engage himself in combat with Chakradhara only after 10 days. For during the 10-day period after the death of his father, he had ceremonial pollution, and during that period he should not handle the divine missiles he had with him. He could not utter then the holy mantras which can activate them. Finish the religious rites to appease the departed soul of your father, and then destroy the foe in battle, they advised. Bhishma realized the propriety of their counsel and sent a message to Chakradhara inviting him for the fray 10 days later. Skill reinforced by divine grace can work wonders. But Chakradhara could not delay that long. He was itching for victory. He directed his newly won weapon at Bhishma. But a wonderful thing happened. That chakra, which had come from the hand of God, would not harm a son who was doing his scriptural duty, performing the Vedic rites for the mains. It rotated in the sky for 10 days, waiting for the funeral pollution period to end. When one is devoted to his duty, one is surrounded by such powerful protecting influences that no injurious force dare approach. That is the way grace operates. Personal skill, when reinforced by divine grace, can work wonders, as happened when the horde of monkeys successfully built a bridge across the sea to Lanka. End of part 1 of 2. Bombay, May 13th, 1971.